Hello, beautiful people. Welcome if this is your first time here. Welcome back if you are a returning supporter. My name is Chelle, also known as Chelle, also known as Midwsthumnbrd, also known as a lot of things. A lot of things. Um, Tonight is nurturing conversation. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffed up, so if you hear me clear my throat or something, y'all know what's been going on. If you don't know, you should definitely check out my channel because I got a couple of videos about what's been going on with me. Um, as always, I have to go and make sure that you can. No, sorry, y'all. I don't know why that was that. Why is that so loud? Skip that. Okay, y'all can hear me. Uh, whew. Um, this is nurturing conversations. I feel like it's my personal opinion. I'm gonna give you all my disclaimers in just a minute. I feel like people don't talk. I feel like when people have emotions or when things are going on in people's lives, they don't talk about it. It's like you experience it and you're just supposed to move past whatever feeling you are experiencing. And so I was like, we should have more conversations around things like that. And thus, we have nurturing conversations. Um, Let me go ahead and give y'all my disclaimers. Actually, I'm gonna give y'all my disclaimers and let the people know. If you do like YouTube or anything, um, you ever have people be like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were going live," or "I didn't even know you didn't even tell me." Mind you, I put it all over my social medias, but I'm going to do everyone a common courtesy and let them know that I am currently live right now. So, one moment, let me just share a like. While you're here, if you could be so kind as to hit that thumbs up button, I will greatly appreciate that. Um, just sending it out to a couple of people, cause then you know it'll be like, girl, I didn't even know you was. So I'm gonna send it out to you so you will know. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, boo, 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 boo. I'm gonna figure out how to put music in here. I'm gonna figure it out in just a minute. Anywho, oh, one more person. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, one more person. One more person. Where is this person? Right here. Do 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 do. I'm gonna figure out how to put music in here where I won't get copywritten because I have a bunch of music that I created, but we're gonna figure it out in just a moment. Um, okay, so as I said, let me go ahead and give y'all my disclaimers before I really get to talking. Um, I do not tolerate disrespect that is in any way, shape, form, or fashion towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, anyone that types in the chat. I don't tolerate it. Given the fact that we are currently surviving a global fucking pandemic, monkeypox, Ebola, polio, high rate of STDs, and every other thing you have experienced in your life, I feel like if you haven't decided at this point to be positive or to change your life for the better, or you're not here to have a conversation, just don't come. I feel like a lot of people waste their time being negative and doing things like that. So I would like to encourage you not to come. One, because given everything I just said, you should probably not want to be in that space. And number two, because the people who I have um, assign moderation to will swiftly remove you from this room. Swiftly. It'll be so fast, like you'll type and then you'll blink your eye and you'll be gone. I want to save you that trouble. There will be curse words. There will possibly be tears. I am not a mental health professional. I have to make sure that I say that. I am not a mental health professional. I do not have a medical degree. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences and let you know two things. One, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. And two, you are not alone. I know a lot of times it feel like we're alone. A lot of times it feel like we're the only person in the world, knowing like it's a billion people up in the world, but we feel like we're the only person in the world going through it. And this is why I want to have a nurturing conversation, because I feel if more people talked about or shared their personal experiences, more people would know that they're not alone and that they can overcome it, and that they will have resources on maybe this worked for you, maybe that didn't work for you, maybe that worked for you, but that, we will have the opportunity to help each other learn, live, and grow. My opinion is my opinion, your opinion is your opinion, but we are here to be adults and have a conversation. There's no need for cursing out. There's no need for all the negative shit that I talked about in my disclaimer number 1. There's no need for that. This right here is a positive, safe space. What you say here, of course, is going to be on the podcast, on broadcasted. So if you want to have a private conversation with me, my information is in the description box down below. If you have a topic that you would like to talk about, but you don't feel comfortable bringing it here, seeing your name next to the side of it, send me an inbox. You already know, I will talk about it. What is the Nurturing Conversation podcast, you may be asking? We talk about everything. We talk about everything from abuse to healing to resting, everything. We talk about everything because we want to ensure that we are all living our best lives. We're all living our best lives. So with that being said, all of my disclaimers, let me see, did I forget anything? No, I think that's pretty much everything. We're going to hop right into the topic. Tonight, the topic is feel, embrace, push. A lot of these conversations that I have, like I start off, comes from me. A little bit about myself. I am on a journey. I feel like life is a journey, but I feel like I just woke up to the idea of the journey of healing and self-discovery. I spent a lot of time like caring for everyone else, making sure everyone else is safe. And I was like, not safe, well, safe or okay, or everyone else's lives was great. Sorry. Everyone else's life was great. And I kept putting myself on the back burner. And then life happened, a pandemic happened. And then I had to focus on myself. And then focusing on myself, I saw a lot of places where I did not love myself. You probably one of those people like, I love myself. I'll be taking care of myself. But the reality of it is, if you put somebody's thoughts, hopes, dreams, all of that in front of somebody else, I'm going to get to that. I know you probably looking like, but that's self. I'm going to get to that. I understand that we are human beings. And if you're a parent, you have children. Like, we have people that we need to care for. But if you are not whole yourself, you are doing yourself and everyone around you a great injustice, because you are indirectly passing things on to the next generation or to the people around you. So I decided I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to operate out of fear. I don't want to operate out of anything other than light, love, and positivity. And how do I do that? I'm going to have conversations with people. If you can't tell by now, I love to talk. So feel, embrace, push. I say feel because a lot of times given our environment where we grew up, we weren't allowed to feel. We weren't allowed to be angry or be sad or cry or have or even express our emotions. So at a point in time, you get to a certain age, especially I want to say like teenage, young adult, early adult, you get to an age where it's just like nobody's gonna hurt me again. I'm not gonna feel disappointment. I'm not. It's all these I'm nots, right? When in reality, there's really nothing we could do to actually um, keep our hearts from being broken, keep our hearts from feeling that sadness. There's nothing you can do. So that's why I say when you get sad, sit with that emotion. I'm not telling you like to sit there for the rest of your life. I'm telling you like just sit with it. Like what does it feel like? What are your thoughts? Like what is going on when you are sad? Sit with that. Embrace it. Like, okay, I am sad. This is what's going on while I'm sad. I'm thinking about this why I'm sad, and then push through that feeling of sadness. And I say this because as a 42-year-old woman, right? There's so many different emotions and situations that happened to me in my life, and I wish somebody would have suggested that I sit with those feelings. When I was disappointed, I wish somebody would have sat with me and was like, "Hey, how does that feel?" I know you're probably like, "Oh, I don't want to sit with disappointment," but I feel like if we sat with disappointment, here's what I realized, right? As a 42-year-old woman, I realized that I've had my heart broken a lot. I've been disappointed a lot. I've been rejected. I've been happy, sad, angry, all of those things. Not just one time in my life, on multiple different occasions. But what I realized is when I allowed the emotion to like course through my body and I embrace it. Okay, I am feeling like this. Why am I feeling like this? Is this a feeling that I want to feel on a regular basis? I'm asking myself all of these questions, and then once I'm like, okay, I'm at a comfortable place, I'm at a safe space. Okay, what am I going to do next? What is my next step? For me, it's always okay, this is where I'm at. I understood. Now it's time for me to move. And I'm not moving with, oh yeah, I'm never gonna be here. Nobody ever gonna do this. I'm moving with, I understand what it feels like to be sad or angry or rejected or anything. I understand what that feels like. So, number one, I do not want anyone else to have to feel that on because of me. That's my first thing. I don't know about you, but that's my first thing. I do not want anyone else to feel that same feeling as a result of something that I did or something that I said. That's number one. And number two is how do I safely and calmly, safely and calmly move from sadness to happiness? How do I do that? What does those steps look like? And then I push through those steps. So I allow myself to feel sadness. I embrace that I am sad. And then I push through the sadness to get on the other side. Like, I talked to y'all last week about fear, right? I had fear of public speaking. You probably like, no, you? Yeah, I had a fear of public speaking. I had a fear of my actual voice. I didn't like it. I feared it. And it wasn't until I had a situation with my vocal cord where I had polyps on my vocal cords that I realized the power of this fear. This fear kept me from wonderfully amazing opportunities. It was the fear that kept me from that, which is me. It's not like I'm putting it on the fear. It was me. It was all of me. It was all me in my mind and my heart, just like, well, I don't want to do that because who's going to listen to me? Why would they listen to me? I mean, all of those things. And then I sat with that fear. Where did the fear come from? How did it start? When did it come? Why have I carried it around for so long? And I feel like sitting right here today, I feel like I carried it around for so long because it gave me something to like It gave me an excuse. It gave me an excuse. Oh, I can't do that because it gave me an excuse. And then the moment I told you I was gonna be tears. Anyways, whew, the moment that I accepted, that I embraced, yes, I did have a fear, past tense. I did have a fear of public speaking. I did have a fear of being an artist manager. I did have a fear. I've just started like verbalizing, feeling, actually living in the moment of these fears, and the anxiety and everything that was associated with them just started to leave. It was literally like every time I spoke out something, it was like it was just coming out of me. Like it was leaving. And for me, it's like I want to share this feeling with everybody. I want everybody to know what that feels like. I want everybody to know what it feels like be angry, but not like do something because of anger. Like, you ever been talking to someone and they're having a conversation with you and now they're angry and then they start saying things that you told them to like hold on to forever and never mention ever again? I realize that those things come because when a person get hurt or when they're angry, their first thoughts are not to say, let me breathe or let me think about why I'm angry. Our first thoughts is to respond. And most times we respond in defense of whatever is going on. I didn't want to respond like that. I don't want to do the tick for tack. I don't want to try to make you feel bad because I'm feeling bad. I want to lift you up. That's what I want to do. So for me, it was like, let's go on this journey of healing and self discovery. Where did the fear start? For me, the fear started when I was younger. And I was sexually abused, and I told people that I was sexually abused. And for me, I felt no one did anything. And then there was the questions of, oh, you're fast, or not questions, but like things being said like, oh, you're fast, or why would they choose you, and just like all of these different things. And we make people who experience horrible fucked up shit feel bad because we can't in our minds believe that that person that they are telling us did shit to them. We can't believe that. So in our minds, to make us be okay, be comfortable with the conversation that we're having, we have to start asking you questions to be like, why did they choose you? I remember all the time the older people be like, oh, they fast anyways. And it's like, they're little. We don't know to be fast. I mean, we know how to be fast in running or playing basketball or, whatever, but we don't know what fast is. We don't know that. We're kids. We weren't thinking adult. You know what I'm saying? So when I began to accept the fact that no one would listen, I accepted that. I felt it. I embraced it, and I pushed through it. And how did I push through it? I just stopped talking. Things happen. I just, chalked it up. Hey, this is what life is. Shit happens. Like, that's what people say. Shit happens. Everything happens for a reason. I really wish people would stop saying that, because it's like, what was the reason for me to be sexually assaulted? I don't know a reason. Like, was it like, I don't get it. But people say things like that to people, and then you're not. For me, that's insensitive to say. I'm young. I'm not asking for a grown man to do what he did. I never asked for that. And then there's the after it happened, and you have all of these feelings and all of these emotions, and no one's talking to you about it because they don't believe that it happened. They can't believe that they happened. They don't want to believe that it happened. It's all these different things. So now you're here in a little bubble trying to figure out, how am I going to push past this? Like, how am I going to move to a space where I feel comfortable with myself? Because now I don't even feel like myself. Like, I don't feel like that person. Like, you ever been in a relationship and you were like happy, you were ready, oh, like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then as you start to get in a relationship, you start to see things and you start to feel things that weren't there during the honeymoon or puppy love stage. And now it's like, well, I'm here now, so I guess I better just deal with it. And for me, I say feel because if we are allowed to feel the things that we are feeling like we're going through, right? We will have the tools and the resources to be like, okay, listen, I feel sad. I am not happy. How many people do you know that are not happy with their situations, but because they are afraid to start over, they are afraid of how people will look at them or talk about them or how it will look if, how many people you know like that? People live their lives based off what other people think. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying it's a real thing. Like if we care more about ourselves, like I care so much about myself when it came to speaking, like I'm like, no, I don't want to carry that around anymore. I don't want to do I don't. I realized that I had to get to the point where I was so over it. Completely over it. Over it. And once I was completely over it, I changed. I told someone, they're like, "Oh well, Chelle, you're different, and it's not going. It's easier said than done." And then I said, I don't know if y'all are picking up, but I have this thing where people repeat stuff that's been said for years or decades, or that older people said. I have a thing with that because, like, for me, this is for me. I no longer wanted to walk around in fear, or I no longer wanted to walk around and hold on to anger or bitterness, right? The moment that I acknowledged it, the moment I allowed myself to feel it and understood why I was there or why it happened to me, the next moment after that, I was doing the opposite of what I was doing before. So for me, it's not easier said than done because the moment I decide, if you're in a relationship and things aren't going the way that you want them to go, not even like a I mean, not even like a relationship, but like a work relationship or a friendship. Like if you're like fed up, it's like, oh no, you're not going to keep talking to me like I'm your son or I'm your daughter, or I'm not going to be working all these hours and you only paying me for 40 hours. Where's my overtime? If you have one of those situations and you make up in your mind and you don't think, you have to think beyond, right? I say this the people around me have to think beyond, right? You have to think beyond that check because most people stay at a fucked up job that they really don't like because of the check. Because of the check. Not because you really love the job or because you like getting up and going because your coworkers don't irritate the hell out of you. All of those things, you only tolerate that shit for a check. When in the back of your mind, you're sitting here like, man, I really want to start this vending machine business, or I really want to start this trucking dispatch business, or whatever it is you really want to do, but you can't do that because you are spending your days waking up cussing and being upset that you have to go to this dead end job that you really don't want to. But if you don't go, you can't pay your rent, your We Energies, that's electric, your phone bill, you can't buy your kids them Jordans or all of that shit, right? So for me, if more people were allowed to feel, like if you were allowed to feel like this shit ain't working for me, once you sit with that feeling and you really sit with the fact that the shit ain't working for you, I guarantee you won't get up the next day and go to that job. You won't. Because you will, once it like fully go through your body and you like, I wake up every fucking day and go to a job that I curse every fucking day. I say this every fucking, I don't gotta get up and go to this fucking job. My boss gonna get on my nerves, my coworkers gonna, and you do all of this every day. Then you leave the job and you come home, you're too tired to do whatever it is that you really want to do. You're too tired. But if you would just embrace that this job is getting on my fucking nerves and look beyond the fact that, well, I need that check, you can embrace the fact that maybe it's time for me to start my own shit. I was watching a video today on TikTok, I believe. Excuse me. Excuse me. The young man said, um, he was working. He's like, yeah, I bust my ass for this job. It, like he was like, I gave my all to the job. And he said while he was at work, his family called him and told him that his mother died. And so he said he walked into the office and told his manager that, hey, I have to leave because my mother just passed away. And he said the manager looked at him and was like, I understand, but you just need to finish out your shift. This is what I took away with. He said you could do two things. You could show them who you are, or you could show them where you're going. For me, that was like that's what I be saying. So he said what he chose to do is he chose to show them where he's going. He said, I knew from that moment forth I didn't want anybody to dictate what I can do when it comes to my family, what I can do when it comes to. And so of course he started his own business, but for me it was like, how many times do you go to work? Do you commit so much time and energy, not just work, to like anything, and then you are taking 5, 3, 10% of what you've giving out? I be saying it all the time, like jobs will replace you swiftly. You call in sick, they be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And then especially now during these, pandemic times, they will, okay, cool. And you go to work and you feeling different and you looking around and things is happening and you like, well, what happened? You didn't come to work. You thought you and your boss was cool. Yeah, we cool. That's what we going golfing. We go to the clubs. We turn up. We do all of that. Them people really don't care about you. They do because they need you to work. Because then if you don't work, then they have to do your job. They don't want to do your job. That's why they hired you. Think about how many managers, think about how many people, if maybe this is you, right? You have a manager and your manager always comes to you and be like, hey, I need help with this. And then you're like, before you know it, you find yourself doing your manager's job. And then you're like, they don't pay me enough to do this. They don't pay me enough to be doing. I'm doing a supervisor jobs, but I'm just a regular person. And then you go and ask for that pay increase. So you ask for that raise, and then they looking at you like, oh no. Or you know that there is a job offer in your building. You know you're a hard worker. You and your boss, y'all cool like that. And so you go fill out for the application and put the application in for that job or interview for that job, and you don't get it. And now you're looking at your boss like, yeah, you should have put in a good word. And the reality of it, they don't. They care about their job. If we allow ourselves to feel like, I know like you my boss, but the reality of it is I'm just a worker to you. Yeah, you might have potlucks and all of that stuff, but the reality of it is you are just a worker. They pay you to come and do your job. You ever getting written up and then they be like, okay, your next one, you're out of here. You probably just think like, no, we cool. They want to do that. You're a worker. They will swiftly. Y'all remember for a long period of time, there was this uproar that, oh, these people are going to come and take all of our jobs. What jobs? We know those people ain't doing them jobs. Y'all won't do those jobs. We know y'all won't. Y'all will swiftly hire other people to do those jobs because those are not the jobs y'all want to do. We know y'all like those little offices or those big offices with the picture windows and you got the little whiskey tray up. We know that's y'all speed. You will hire somebody else to mop the floors and clean the toilets. We know that. I was telling a friend of mine, I feel like in this time during the pandemic, like I feel like first it was like, oh, I got this idea, I got ideas. And then a global fucking pandemic happened. And then people was like, I don't really know about doing my ideas now because now I got to worry about if I'm going to be around and these are like real life, legitimate, like things you could worry about, right? But for me, when it happened to me, when it came to me, it was like, this is the greatest opportunity ever. Like I work in the field of music and entertainment, and I was telling music artists, I said, this is the greatest opportunity ever. You want to know why? Because everybody is at home. Everybody. Everybody is at home. The life that everybody knew before 2020, life ain't that no more. You see people venturing out. You see people trying to get back to doing that, but it ain't on the same level that it was before 2022. I mean, yeah, before 2020, it's not on that same level. Now more people are cautious. I went I went to an event on Friday, right? I went to an event on Friday and I thought it was really dope because I was in there, right? Now, most people know, like everybody knows me, but I had my mask on and they're looking like, it looked like her, but I didn't really know if it was you and I didn't want to walk up to the wrong person. So when they got close to me, they were like, oh my God, you are out here. And I was like, yeah, but you see, I still got my mask on. It was a lot of people without masks and I don't knock you. You do what you do, but I'm going to wear my mask. I am going to wear my mask because I feel, me personally, I know what it was like when I had COVID and how sick I got. And for me, COVID is real. Whichever number COVID you want to, it was real. I embraced that. I still to this day have a ridiculous cough that they call the COVID cough. I don't like it, but I allowed myself to feel that. So when I felt that, oh, it's a no for me. When I go outside of my house, I'm putting my mask on. When I go in a large crowd, I try to stay away from large crowds because I don't know, I've been in the house for a long time. Get a little weird about that. It's just me, just a little weird when it's a lot of people. It's just me. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm venturing outside of my house more now. So I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I'm not just in the house like, oh no, I'm not going to do it. I'm working on it. I am getting there. Tomorrow I have to present at a really huge conference or situation and I'm super excited. So I'm telling everybody like, no, I'm definitely going to wear my mask cuz if I don't do anything, Monday at 1:30, that's tomorrow at 1:30, I will be sitting on this panel talking my shit to be exact. I will be sitting on this panel and I will be talking. So I have to make sure that my voice, all of this is great. I've been waiting, you be waiting for your whole life for this opportunity and the opportunity is here. Like I'm less than 24 hours away from this opportunity. I am not going to do anything to jeopardize that. I'm going to get rest. Any other time I'd be up to like 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning just to be working on stuff around here. I'm doing a Christmas album. I'm Y'all gonna see it. I'm doing a bunch of things. Any other time I would be up to 9, 10 o'clock in the next morning. Tonight, I'm going to sleep. I need my beauty rest because I have to go and present. And not only am I presenting for me, but I'm presenting for people that looks like me. That's male, female. I'm presenting for life tomorrow. I'm presenting for us. I'm representing. I know you probably was like, I didn't select you as a representative, but I'm going on behalf of every music creative, every producer, every singer, every songwriter. I'm going on your behalf because what we not going to do in 2020 and beyond is we not going to allow people to push our buttons. We're not going to allow people to just dangle money in front of us and we going to tap dance for their money because we know that we run all this shit. Y'all see, that's the kind of shit I'm going to be talking tomorrow. Anyways. But if we allow ourselves to feel like that, if we feel like we are the shit, then we will become the shit. We will embrace that. And then we will push through life being the shit. Feel, embrace, push. I just hit my wrist so hard on my desk. And I tried to play it off, but I am really feeling, oh, it hurts. I'm rubbing it right now and it still hurts. But if we allow ourselves to feel that our parents, yes, they brought us into this world. I know everybody be like, I never asked to be here, but we here now. So if we allow ourselves to feel that our parents who at the time say that I did the best that I could, right? If we allow ourselves to feel that how our parents raised us, maybe you were somebody that got beat, maybe you were somebody who just got neglected or abandoned or any one of those things, right? If you were allowed to feel that, right? If when I think about it, right, I told y'all, like, I felt like my parents abandoned me. I lived with my mother. I lived with her. Like, we were in the same house, but I still felt like she abandoned me. Like, I'm the only girl. Like, I had these thoughts like, okay, I'm the only girl. Like, we gonna do all of this stuff. And now my mom did do all of that stuff, but the mother daughter relationship I envisioned that we were going to have, because you see it on TV, you see it everywhere. So that's what I thought I was going to have. My life wasn't like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I had every Care Bear, My Pony, lace socks, bobos. I had all of that. Like all of that. But the love and affection and all of the things that, you would give your child, I didn't have that. I have it now, but I didn't have that. And for me, I felt abandoned. My father, he wasn't even there. So, I mean, he wasn't there. And so I spent, instead of like, this is what I feel, this is how I spent the majority of my life doing things to feel appreciated. I hated rejection. When I say I hated it. Hated it. People, I would do shit for people that I didn't even like just so that I could feel them say, I hated rejection. I was so afraid of it because I had already felt like the two people who brought me here, they introduced it to me. So in the beginning, when I said, if you are a whole person, like you are an adult, you are a parent, an auntie, grandmother, uncle, cousin, whoever you are, if you are someone who interacts with people on a daily basis, you can indirectly pass something off to them. Indirectly. Of course, when I got older, I realized that my parents didn't abandon me. Well, they did. But I understood the situations that happened around me when I was growing up, because I had to understand that my parents are also human. And so the time frame in which they were like coming together to, make me, like, there was a different time and things were going on that I didn't know. I just knew that he wasn't there and I knew she was, but that's all I knew. I could only talk about where I was. So when I listen to them and they tell me where they were, and it helps me to understand. It helped me to completely understand. And at that moment, it's like, do I still be mad, or do I still be bitter or angry when I know what happened now? You ever ask people like, what happened? Why you do this, or why you, and then they never give you an answer, or they can't answer, and you don't think like maybe they really can't answer, or maybe they trying to put the words together to answer. We just be wanting people to say immediately, why did you do that? We want the answer to come just like that, when in reality, people don't know why they do half of the shit that they do. They just be doing it. I was talking to my nephew earlier. Yes, I have conversations with a 4-year-old. I was talking to my nephew earlier because we be talking, we be vibing. And so he came in here and he had tissue stuck up in his nose. Like if you're an adult, you stick tissue up in your nose because your nose either are running or it's stuffed up. So you stick the tissue up in there. And I'm like, why did you do that? He said, I don't know. No, I know, like he got a little cough or whatever. His nose keep running. So I know that, like because I put it up in my nose. So I know that's the idea behind why he did it. But when I asked him why he did it, he didn't, he's like, I don't know. And I looked at him and I was just like, kids are such sponges, right? We be like, oh, that's just a little kid. They don't know. They just kids. They are such sponges, and I'm gonna tell y'all another why. We indirectly. Now I know his parents. I know them. I know they're not gonna teach their child this. So he's playing a video game, right? And every time he lose on a video game or something happen that catches him off guard, he says, what the hell? First time I was like, did he just say what the hell? And then it was like after the third time, and I'm sitting here because I'm processing, like, where the hell would he get that from? Who, how do you know to put what the hell at that particular time? In my mind, I was so like trying to figure it out, like he's only four, but how did you know to put what the hell right there when you're loose or when something happens? How did you get that? And then I started to think, like, what else have he seen or what else has he been paying attention to? You see what I'm saying? Like, you probably thinking about your child, like you ever heard your child cuss? Did you ever think like most time people hear their child cuss and be like, oh, don't say that. But did you ever think like, where did they learn that from? So this is why I be saying, if you are a parent, it's important for your child to see you express emotions outside of anger and outside of irritation. They need to see you cry. They need to see you be emotional. They need to see you be hurt. I'm not saying like go cry to your child or go do anything like that. I'm saying they need to see that from you. Because think about it. You ever heard, if you are a man or you're a mom and you have boys, you ever heard someone tell your son, you acting like a little girl, or stop crying like a insert word here? I would never say that. You ever hear people say that? And now your male child is growing up and he's not going to show emotions because he don't want to be an insert word here and he don't want to be looked at as a girl. How many men do you know in your life that you've ever seen? When I thought about it, right, I seen my father get emotional. I seen my mother get emotional. And for me, it was always okay to be emotional. My grandmother, my family, like, it's okay for you want to cry, but you have to be able to communicate why you crying. So that's why I feel like I'm able to like put all of those things together. But we don't see our parents cry. We don't see you be emotional. If we do, it's because a guy left or a girl left or something like that happened. But like just real life be emotional, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing people express themselves. We be like, oh yeah, this bitch nagging or this nigga, all of those words. And I'm only saying that in the context of this conversation because I don't normally talk like that, but you've heard those things. You've heard it. Like I say, if more people were more people felt what it was like to say, okay, I had my heart broken. Now let me sit in the midst of this and understand what I did do or what I didn't do and take accountability for my actions and spend some time loving myself, figuring myself out before I hop into something else. I think there would be a lot less unalivings. I think there would be a lot less domestic abuse. I feel like there will be a lot less because people will be able to understand themselves. Most people, I'm not saying everyone that's doing this, but most people, if you think about the situations, if you think about the people that are actually doing it, they're not comfortable with themselves. They're not comfortable with themselves. Like think about it, right? If I don't feel like I'm smart or I don't feel like I am capable of doing anything other than selling drugs on a corner or whatever, and I'm not, where I'm using it. If I feel like that, and now you want to go start a business or you want to do that, now I'm jealous of you. Not that we in the same relationship, me and you working together, we could build this. It's like, oh, you don't need to do that. Who you talking to? What you doing? For me, it's like if we allow ourselves to feel those feelings, feel that. You see somebody over there starting a business, instead of you like, hey, how did you figure that out? Hey, what step did you take to get there? You over there calling them, oh, they think they better. They think they doing this. We got that mentality instead of saying, hey, how can I help you? I literally told someone today, I said, the thing that I realized about people of color, hi, if you are a person of color, I'm talking to you right now. The thing that I realized is that our homeboys or homegirls or family members or whatever could have businesses, like real life established businesses, and we won't support them. We will want a discount, or we will feel like, why would I pay $65 for your shirt, but you will go into Gucci, Louis, Prada, Tommy Hilfiger, all these people, and spend all that money with them and don't complain not one, don't say nothing. You ain't talking about the quality of the shirt. Now I know the quality of the material. I know all of that. We do that to our own people, but these people who created, they knew. Like, if you ever, have you ever saw fashion shows and stuff like that? You ever watch what these people wear? Like, they're not wearing the same things that you are wearing. You ever notice that? They don't wear the same thing. And it's not because they can't afford to wear it. They know that if I put this Tommy Hilfiger jacket on a black person and let them walk down, I'm going to sell out. I know that. Go, if you ever went and looked at Louis, Gucci, Prada, Balmain, Balenciaga, go look at all of that. Look at the analytics. This is what I be saying. Look at the analytics of who's buying those things. Who's buying it? They selling us everything. Because you know why? We got the highest spending. We spend on everything.
Titi,
yes.
What's happening?
I'm on my podcast. He told me today, he said, don't call, his name is Cameron. He said, don't call him Cameron, call him Spider-Man. So I call him Spider-Cam. I have to be I'm not trying to be rebellious, but I just was like, your name is Cameron. I like Cameron. He's like, nope, call me Spider-Man. But if we allow people to feel what it's like if men, I feel like if men were allowed to be emotional, yes. Okay, give me one moment, okay? I'm almost done, and I'm going to make you some, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. If we allow, if men or young boys or teenagers of any were allowed to express themselves, there wouldn't be as much violence. I know you probably like, that's a stretch, but the reality of it is like people don't know how to communicate their feelings. They don't know how to say, hey, what you say hurt my feelings. Why did you say what you said? Unless they're really angry. Like I told someone, I said, if you're a parent, check this out, right? Let me know. You can type it in the comments. Think about when you whoop your child. Are you happy? Are you smiling like, yeah, I'm in such a good mood today. Let me go ahead and whoop you. Or are you irritated, frustrated, or angry? I said, when I told, like, I got one whooping in my 42 years of living, I got one whooping, right? But I said, when parents whoop or discipline their children, they're not in a calm state. You're not like, oh, let me just take some time and think about what happened. Let me think about how I'm going to approach this situation. You just come in swinging whatever is there. I remember back in the days, they used to swing whatever. You ever got hit with or I didn't get hit with it. I'm sorry, this is not funny. But you ever been sitting in a room and a shoe come around the corner? Like, I don't know what kind of like skills that they had back in them days, but you ever been sitting there and you say something under your breath, you literally mumbled it. I don't know if they had bionic hearing back then, but you literally mumbled it. My brother, he was good for that because he would mumble, and next thing you know, it was one of those Chinese beauty store slippers came around that corner, and I was just like, ooh, it's a no for me. I just always spoke whatever I felt or whatever. I wasn't mumbling nothing because I remembered that shoe came around the corner. She's sitting in a whole nother room and it came around the corner like she just boomeranged it and it found him. Found him. Like when I tell you, I used to watch people get whoopings and not like I was just like, ooh, let me get some popcorn. Like, grew up in the hood, you see people get whoopings. And I was just looking like, yeah, no, I ain't never. You ever had to go get a switch? Oh, that in and of itself is trauma. So when I be telling people, like, I really feel like everybody should go to therapy, but when I tell people that they should go to therapy, they like, I ain't got no trauma, ain't nothing happened to me. If you had to go pick your own switch, that's trauma. Cause think about it. What if you didn't pick the thickest one? But what people didn't know that those it was the thin ones. Those was the ones I hear people all the time like, don't get that, don't get the thin ones, get the thick ones, cause oh, you ever had people tie them together? Whew. I heard stories. I only got one whooping in my life because once I figured out, I saw all these other people getting whooping. I'm type. I learned fast. I learned fast. It's a no for me. Sneaking out, skipping school, no, that was a no for me. And I went to chapter 220 school. What I was going, I mean, I went all the way to school in Franklin. I was going to skip. I wanted to go to Milwaukee Public Schools, but I went to school all the way in Franklin. If you don't know where Franklin is, like, think of where you live and your farthest, like, next town. That's what I did. That's where I went to school. I wasn't skipping nowhere. And I liked my school. We went on field trips. The food was different. I went to predominantly white schools, and yeah, it was different. It was completely different. When I was allowed to feel that, now as a 42-year-old, I feel that. And I'm like, I wrote a whole paper when I first went to college because I was one of 24. I don't even think it was that many. I think I just put that number up there. It had to be like 2018 of us in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin in 1999. And there was, them people with the white hoods, and it was those other people, all of those people, that you see marching with tiki torches and stuff like that. Yeah, they were there. And when I say they were there, that was their town. We were integrating their college in 1999. Yeah. So when I tell you, like, I've seen some things, I've seen and experienced a lot of things. So for me, the fact that I am able to sit here and talk to you about, like, feeling a lot of stuff I didn't carry. I'll tell you what I carried around the longest: being sexually assaulted, the abandonment of my parents, and the fear or not understanding the power in my own voice. Those are the three things I carried around the longest. And it took me to being 40 for me to say, I'm over it. I had already talked to my parents. I had already resolved those things. It was me at 40, like, I'm letting all of this shit go because I refuse. Actually, I was 39 before I turned 40. And I was like, I refuse. I'm looking back. I'm like, well, my teens, like from 8 all the way up until now, I experienced so much shit in my life. I don't want to carry that anymore. I got the memories of it. I'm always have my body's going to always, I'm not carrying that shit around, and I'm letting it go. And so I crossed over in 40. Whew. I thought I didn't care about shit in 30s. But when I crossed over into my 40s, it's just like, why the fuck did I have a whole closet full of purses? And to this very day, I don't wear purses. But I was buying up Dooney and Burks, Coaches. I was buying those bags, y'all. If you know how much I was buying those bags, I had Air Force, brand new Air Force Ones, and I only wore like one. I wore one time, and that was it. Like, my shoes was Air Force, Pumas, and Converse. Closet full of them, and I was like, I'm not wearing them, so I just started giving them away. Like, why did I accumulate all of these things? And then I realized, this is something I realized. I realized that shopping was really therapy for me. Really. Like, if I didn't go and spend a large sum of money, I just was not okay. And I would go spend that large sum of money and put it in the closet and never look at it again. And I would be okay. Weird, I know. But when I was like calculating everything, I was like, no, that's where my money going. I had Dooney and Bucks purses and I never wore them. They just sat in my closet on the shelf. I would hear people talking about, girl, I got to get this bag. And I was like, oh, okay. Where we going to get one? All those superficial things to make myself feel better when all I had to do, let me tell you what I did. All I had to do was allow myself to feel the emotions that I was feeling, embrace them, and figure out how I was going to move from there. That's all I had to do. Once I started doing that, instead of buying like clothes and purses that I was never going to wear, I started saying, what do I want to do? I want to travel. Like I just told somebody, like I lived here for 7 years. Excuse me. I lived here for 7 years. Now, in the next year, my this is my goal. I realized that I've become a minimalist. Like I have all of my studio stuff, my instruments and stuff. I have that. But I've become a minimalist. Like I am so quick to throw stuff in the garbage or give it away right now. I am. So in 2023, my objective is to find me a Sprinter van, a RV, or something like that, and just tour the United States um, in an RV or Sprinter. I'm gonna keep saying Sprinter because that's really what I want, a Sprinter. I don't know if y'all seen those people that live in like the Sprinter vans and they got I real life. This is what I real life want to do. And people's like, why do you want to do that? It's like, I don't know. I feel like at this point in my life, like I feel so free. Like I've said it a couple of like times ago in a different podcast. I said I feel so free. You ever like don't mind that rattle that I got. You ever do that and like feel a heaviness up in here? Or you ever do that and then a thought come to your mind and like you worried about a bill or you worried about something? Like I feel free. Like I still have bills. I just feel free. I feel like I don't have any of those things that was stopping me before. And so now when all these different opportunities are being presented to me, these different opportunities, the doors that are being opened, all these different things, I don't have that thing. I don't have that excuse. I can't be like I'm afraid anymore because now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm walking through there. And once I get in that door, I'm going to make sure it's safe. It's a safe space. It's good. We all good. I'm going to bring other people through that door. If, only if. I'm not saying I'm bringing everybody because, I'm not going to mess up my blessing because other people don't know how to act. It's a no for me. I will help you create the opportunity, but you have to get yourself. People like, I leave the door open. I'm not leaving the door open. I'm going to close it. I'll open it for you. Hey, you knock. I'll be the one on the other side to open it because we been leaving doors open for people and they don't know how to act. They don't. We gonna be real honest. People don't know how to act. You ever put somebody in a position for them to win and instead of them winning, they turn out to now you no longer have that connect? Yeah, that happened to me too many times right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the opportunities and how to get it yourself. Then when you get in there, of course we can link up. We could do that. You ever put somebody put you down on their resume as a referral, a reference, and then they get the job and it's terrible. They late all the time. Yeah, that happened to me. I'm saying like when things start happening, when you start to feel like, okay, I'm putting out 100, but I'm kicking it with you and you only giving me like 25, you giving me 5% back. I'm giving 50% to this 50-50. I'm giving 50%, but you only giving like 10, maybe 7. And I feel like I'm doing your extra. So now I'm like 75. You at like 20, maybe on a good day. No, I feel like in 2022, in October of 2022, there's like 3 months left. It's October, November, December. Like 2022 is almost over. We've survived a global fucking pandemic for 2 years. I thought to myself, I did so much shit. Let me tell y'all, I'm pretty much past the conversation now, but I'm still gonna tell y'all like feel, embrace, push. I realized that in 2022, I have accomplished hmm, some of the most amazing, some of the most challenging. I've accomplished so many things that I never would have thought I would have had to. I never would have thought that I would be in a position to do it, but I knew that if I was presented with the opportunity, I could overcome it. First year, 2020, I scored a documentary on it's called Growing Up Milwaukee. It's streaming right now. It's been streaming since 2020. Actually 2021. It's been streaming since 2021 on HBO Max. I scored a documentary. Um I've worked on countless number of music projects. I've pitched in front of venture capitalists who have tons of money. And I thought to myself, I never celebrated any of that. Never celebrated. I rarely talked about it. I was talking to someone today. I said, I didn't even celebrate the fact that I have a really popular business. I never celebrated the fact that I have a bachelor's degree. I never celebrated the fact that I survived a level 1 trauma surgery, that I survived. I don't celebrate those things. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm celebrating everything. So y'all will see me. I'm going to do a lot of celebrating. I'm going to even be celebrating you. Yeah. I'm even celebrating you. All of you who have kept me lifted and prayed for me and sent me inboxes and texts and DMs and video messages and calls. All of that helped me. All of it helped me. This is where the tears are going to come. All of that helped me. I didn't upload a YouTube video short, nothing. I wasn't on social media for 3 months. But my YouTube community, my TikTok, all the people that I've met on social media kept me lifted. Y'all kept me lifted. So with your encouraging words, your comments on my videos, y'all kept me lifted. And I'm going to show y'all appreciation for the rest of the year. You will see it. And I want you to feel how I felt. I felt seen. I felt appreciated. I felt, most importantly, loved. I felt that. I still feel that to this day. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Because feeling that love and embracing that love helped me push through. I don't know if you ever had a major surgery, but um that was officially my second surgery, and that's going to be my last one. It's going to be my last one. They were like, I told my family, I'm going to tell y'all because y'all like my family. I told my family if they ever tell me I have to have surgery again, I'm on my way to Colorado because I'm going to get some of the goodest. The goodest. You know what I'm talking about? Yep, I'm going to get some of the goodest, and that's just what I'm going to do for the rest of my life because I'm not having another surgery. So the first time I had surgery, it took me a while to come out of the anesthesia. And then when I woke up, it's these big like heating lamps or lights or whatever. Like there was like 1, 2, 3. It was 3 of them. And then they had me wrapped in aluminum foil. I laughed, but that's not funny. They had me wrapped in like aluminum. It was an aluminum blanket or something like that. And then I woke up and I was strapped to the bed, and I was like, why am I strapped to the bed? If you know me, I'm kind of claustrophobic. Eh. Um, and so they was like, we didn't know if you're gonna come back, and I was like, you put people out there, and you don't know if they gonna. Anyways, so this time around, it was the same thing for me. Like coming back is hard. I don't know why, but it's hard. And so when they told me I was gonna have surgery on my vocal cords, I said, I told y'all when I had the surgery back in March, it's a no for me. No more surgery. I don't care what they say. I'm just going to go to Colorado or hit up my local person, pharmaceutical salesman or woman, and that's all I'm going to do. I have lived a very adventurous life. And for that, I am grateful, but it's a no for me. No more surgeries. I felt it. I'm embracing it and I'm pushing through it because there's no more. This is the most terrifying experience ever. It was really scary. And not so much as scary for me because I felt loved the entire time. I felt like I was literally being carried by love, like real life. I didn't have a fearful bone in my body. I just felt loved. Like I felt an overwhelming sense of love. It was so overwhelming. I just found myself crying at times. It's just like, and I'm saying that because this is important, right? I'm saying that because I've been given so much love to everyone around me, everybody from young to old to family members to siblings to nieces and nephews, like everybody. I've been given so much love and I never allowed myself to feel love because I was so busy. And then I wasn't busy. And then it was like, wait, this is what love feels like. Did y'all see that smile? This is what love feels like. And I embraced every moment of it. And even when my mind was like, no, you can't do that because what if? I don't give a fuck if I don't even care at this present time because I am embracing love. And ever since that day, I've been walking. I pushed past my fear. I pushed past those things that be like, you know, you had got hurt before when you was like 6 or when you was like, no, I don't care. I realized, let me tell y'all what I realized as a 42-year-old woman. I realized I just endured a really, it hurted. It hurted a lot. I endured a really bad breakup. I did. Whew. Um, But I had my heart broken before. No, I didn't have my heart broken before in this type of manner, but I had my heart broken before. So it wasn't as like down in the dumps, depressed, all of that. You know, I think like our first major breakup is that one breakup that teaches us like, okay, this shit gonna hurt. But this hurt it. But I wasn't like, oh man, my life is over. Oh, I'm never gonna find anybody else. It was just more like, let me work on me. I told y'all I went on a date, but I didn't tell y'all like the fullness of the date because I wasn't ready to talk about that yet. So, you know, I was in a relationship and then I'm out of a relationship. So, you know, when you get out of a relationship, everybody asks, are you ready to date? You ready to date? I'm not dating if that's what you're thinking. I'm not dating. I'm single still. But I went on a date. And you know, you had a really nice restaurant. It's fine people everywhere. Like fine. I don't call people ugly. They're fine people. They are beautiful for whatever. They're everywhere. So people talking to me and you know, people flirting and I'm just sitting there like, wait. Apart first I was like, oh, they flirting with me. But no, then I have to remember I'm single. So it's okay for you to flirt with me. So I'm flirting back a little bit and I'm just like, this is so weird. This is so weird for me because I don't know, but I was like, it's kind of cute or whatever. But I allowed myself to be in that moment because I remember what it was like, and so I'm there eating by myself, kind of technically. But there's beautiful people to my right. There's beautiful people to my left. The bartender is beautiful. I'm just like, it is some really beautiful people in here. And somebody looked over and said, and you fit right along with us. And I was like, okay, thank you. I embraced that. Before I would have just been like, oh no, not. I'm learning to embrace more. That feeling of being loved. It's like, ooh, you ever think right now, like think about that time you felt love. I'm not saying you not feel like you're loved right now, but think about that time when you first was like, damn, that's love. You see how your voice be or if you're a guy, you like, damn, shorty love me. Like you do this, like shorty love me. I'm telling you, like it's something about it. And I said, I'm gonna post a video and I said, um, for so long I spent looking for my parents' love and affection, and the person that I really wanted to love me was me. Now don't go still that saying, don't, you could take it, but give me credit though. But the person I wanted to love me was me. And when I started loving myself, oh yeah, I'm trying to like do it with a straight face. When I started loving myself, and you like, I love myself, but you ever think about this, right? If somebody called, you ever been tired? It seems like people do this when you're tired. You ever been tired and somebody call you and be like, hey, could you run me somewhere? And you tired. You know that you tired. Your body, you already laying in the bed under the cover, got that good, oh, you feeling you. Your body is like winding down. And you be like, yeah, I'm on my way. In reality, you overlooked your body and your feelings, your thought and mind, and your body was like, we're resting, and you was like, oh, but I need to go do this for so and so. Have you ever took the moment to just press pause and be like, if I was in this situation, would so and so do this for me? You ever asked yourself that question? Cause when I got sick, and I'm like, I'm usually the go to person. Like when people need something, like I'm the person that they go to, right? And so I realized that once I got sick, it was like, okay, what are we supposed to do? Because she's sick, and we don't want to ask her and seem insensitive to do it if she could do it because she's sick. So it's like a lot of people had to figure shit out for themselves. I'm not laughing at the fact that they had to figure shit out for themselves, but I'm laughing at the fact, like, because I used to be like, well, if something happened to me, what's going to happen to y'all? If like I'm always there to run and it's like, hey, I got you. Don't even worry. Don't trip. I got this for you. If I'm always that one and I like step back, what's going to happen? I know I'm not saying like I'm God or nothing, but I'm saying like, if you, a person always depended on you, like parents, like I feel like, when we're growing up, they teach us how to, well, I was gonna say they teach us how to pay rent, but there's a lot of people not paying rent out here. But they teach us how to be responsible. I don't know. I'll say for me, my mother taught me about grocery shopping. She taught me about how to separate. People don't separate laundry. That was the weirdest thing for me. People don't separate. She taught me how to separate laundry. She taught me how to put meals together. She taught me how to put clothes together. She taught me comb my hair. She taught me. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this, and y'all probably like, what? If you had a grandma, an old school grandma, right? Your grandma taught you how to like clean, your undergarments like this. She said, oh, it's like a washboard. She taught me how to do that. I saw her like washing whites in it's a board like this, and she's scrubbing it like this, and I was like, what the hell is that? But I knew what it was because I saw them playing it at church. But I'm like, why is she using the thing that they play at church in a basin board? Come to find out, it was actually supposed to be used for washing, but the church people just turned it to an instrument. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But my granny taught me how to rub stuff and get stains out, and she taught me things. We're not teaching the next generation shit. Like right now, everybody like credit, 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 credit. Are you sitting down with your child and telling them about credit and debit and assets and liabilities? Or are you sitting down with your child like, oh, these are new Jordans. Oh, you heard that new song? Or get the fuck out of here. Go do. Like, what are you teaching them? Like, what are we passing along to the next generation? I feel like for me, it was like, again, I only want to be light, love, and positivity. And people be like, no, that's impossible for you not to do. The reality of it is actually it's actually pretty solid. Because when you think about it, right, when you first get up in the morning, when I first get up in the morning, if I feel that I am not in the greatest of mood, I roll over and put the cover over my head and hit snooze on my thing, and I go back to sleep. I do not want to wake up in the morning. I just woke up from a sleep state. How am I angry or irritated or mad? I don't want to do that. I even realized when I talk to my nieces and nephews, everybody else is like, you need to put a little more authority in your voice. And I'm like, no, they get enough of that. I'm going to talk to them in a calm tone, and I'm going to listen to them when they tell me. Like y'all just heard him say he want noodles. He don't want them noodles. I told him we was going to the store. He's sitting over there. I told him we was going to the store. He's ready to go to the store. but I'm gonna make him some noodles. I'm gonna put some meat in there, and then he gonna eat them, hopefully. But I know him, and he tells me everything, and he's for it. And some stuff I don't want to know about what he do with the stuff in his nose. I don't want to. I don't want to know. I don't want to see your boogers, but I know that's what kids do. But it's cute. But it's just like, man, I wonder if I used to do this when I was little. I don't know. It's amazing to watch kids grow. It's like I was a child, but then when I think about my childhood, I didn't have the ability to play. Hey, Jamila. I didn't have the ability to play and do all of those things. I was kind of like an adult. I was like I made my first meal at 8. I was in the cooking kitchen. I was in the kitchen cooking. I made pork chops, Spanish rice, cornbread. Not like Jiffy, but cornbread. My grandma taught me how to make cornbread. And I baked a cake from scratch. My grandma, she was in there showing me how to do that stuff. So at 8, I was cooking, and once my mother was like, "Oh, you can cook? Yeah, I can go ahead, and I'm gonna be at church a little longer. Go ahead and fix y'all something to eat." She went to the grocery store, fix y'all something to eat. For me, it was like, yeah, I've been taking care of people all of my life, and I decided 42 and beyond, I'm gonna take care of myself. Just me. It's just me. I was telling somebody, I said, you remember back in the days, like you would go get your good girlfriends and y'all would go to the movies and y'all would go like out to eat or go shopping. But I would do that by myself because I realized, like, I don't know, I think I always liked being alone. You know, like some people are afraid to be alone, like that. Oh, I don't want to be alone, so let me get out of this relationship, go hop in another one, or they have people around them that they really don't like, but just so they don't feel. Nope. I think everybody needs to experience that alone feeling. Not like you have no one, but like I'm alone. Like I need to just sit with this and embrace that because if what happens is if you are afraid to be alone, you start tolerating shit that you know that you would not ever tolerate. You ever said, I wish a motherfucker would, or you ever wish or been like, I wish that would happen to me, and then all of a sudden it happens to you? I said that a lot. I remember I was in a relationship and I was like, I wish a motherfucker would, and the motherfucker did, and I just looked like, did this motherfucker? They did. And the thing that you said that you was gonna do, if a motherfucker did, you never did. You just sat there and was like, damn, I can't believe. That's why when people talk to me about different situations, I don't give my opinion. I used to, because I was like, yeah. But now, as a 42-year-old woman, y'all know, so I keep throwing my age out there. As a 42-year-old woman, I keep my mouth closed, honey. Because I'm going to tell you something. You might not believe in karma. I believe in karma. You probably don't even call her karma. You probably call her Jesus, whoever. I believe in that. So that's why I want to treat everybody with light, love, and positivity. I want to show you the same courtesy that I want you to show me. That's where I'm at with my life. Other than that, it's a no. You're not going to get nothing else out of me. I will shut down and be silent and look at you like you're stupid before I do anything else. I done hung up on people. Whew, I done hung up on people. I definitely utilize the block button. I definitely utilize it. I would encourage you to do that too. I set boundaries with everybody. And once you cross that boundary and you knowingly cross that boundary, oh yeah, it's the block for you. Cause you knowingly do it. It's not an accident. You knowingly did exactly you did exactly what I asked you not to do. If we know what it's like to feel like you ever been in a relationship or wanted to be in a relationship with somebody, but they only wanted something else out of you. Like you wanted to have a relationship with that man or that woman so bad, but they like, oh no, this is just sex. And now you feeling some kind of way. It's 2022. This is what I'm going to tell you. This is going to be my closing out statement. It is 2022. You have survived your life plus a global fucking pandemic, Ebola, monkeypox, polio, a high rate of STDs. And if you haven't made the decision to live your best fucking life right now, I want you to take this evening take tonight, look at your life, and determine what you could do better. Because people be like, "Oh, I did my best," but how do you know what your best is if this is just something you just did? Oh, you was in a relationship last time, but you didn't do exactly the same things that you did last time. But it's like every situation is different. It's like when people say parents always be like, parenting didn't come with a rule book, but you notice that nobody ever was like, hey, I got a parenting rule book. It might not work for you, but some of these things will work for you. Like all babies need to be burped or changed or fed or they walk, they talk, they need to be disciplined. Like all of those things, we all know that. Maybe you can help me with tips. Like when I went through a situation and I shared it here on YouTube and people watched the video and people heard what I said and they started inboxing me or people I knew called me and was like, hey, can I get your advice on this? Or hey, could you show me how you walked through this? How did you get over that? Or how did that, because I know that was heavy for you, but how did you carry that? And I'm just looking like, one, I got a big ass, so I can carry a lot of shit. No, I'm just playing. I do, but I'm just playing. No, I'm used to carrying shit. I'm used to carrying my shit, other people's shit I should never have to carry, but I'm used to doing that. And so for me, it's like I was used to it, but I don't want you to get used to it. I don't want you to get used to feeling, oh, this is what disappointment feel like, or this is what hurt feel like. I do want you to understand what it feels like, but I don't want you to get used to it. Okay, I was disappointed when they didn't show up or they didn't do what they said they was gonna do. If you already know that the person never be doing what they said they gonna do, I'm not saying you're not entitled to be disappointed. I'm just saying like you kind of brought that on yourself. Because if I know that you don't never show up, I'm not going. I'm not. I will give you the benefit of the doubt one time. After that, is you consciously making that decision? It's a no for me. It's a no. So again, it is 2022. You survived everything that life threw at you to like tear you down or discourage you, and you survived it, and you are here. You're hearing my voice. You're watching me. You seeing this beautiful smile on the screen. It is time for you to do something different. If you dated the same type of people, if you go to the same fucking job that you wake up every morning like, oh, I gotta go to this job, quit. Did she just tell these people to quit their job? Yes, the fuck I did. Especially if you know you got a whole business that you know that you would be successful, and you be like, this what everybody be like, I wish I had time. If I had time, and then when the timing is right, but it's like you make the right time. You ever notice that people make time for the things that they want? We make time. Time is that's a whole nother topic for another day. But you make time for the shit that you want to do. So make time for your own shit. If you want to write a book, make time to fucking outline your book. If you want to start trucking dispatches, be on fucking Instagram and TikTok. These people are sharing this information. Sharing the information, because the other people ain't gonna fucking give us the information. They gonna want you to go and drive their fucking truck. That's what they gonna do. They gonna treat you like shit while you're driving their fucking truck, and know that you're not gonna quit because you need that money. You ready to go?
I did your phone.
No.
Oh. You gotta wait till your phone?
Yes. I'm almost done, okay? I'm about to wrap up right now, okay?
Okay.
And we're gonna go. Where's your shoes? I don't know. That's his answer every time. He didn't even look for him. He just, I don't know. Anyways, do something different. That's all I'm saying. I just want us to be better. And the only way that we can be better is people call us out on our shit and hold us accountable. If we had more friends, if people had more friends that would hold them accountable and call them out on their shit, I think a lot of more people would be successful. If we loved our family and friends enough to support their businesses and support their ideas instead of always tearing them down or like competing with them. Like if we realize like we're not in a fucking, it's not a competition. Like everybody can eat. Everybody, especially since the global fucking pandemic, everybody can eat more times. You can have more than one serving of whatever is out here. More than one. The fucking earth got like a factory reset. No, he didn't wipe us out with like floods or none of that shit, but he gave us a factory reset. So we all got the opportunity to start over. So don't sit at home and be like, man, I wish I could. Do it. Right now, we are in Vlogtober. If you want to figure out if you want to be a YouTuber, start creating blogs right now. I don't know what to post. Hi, my name is Insert Your Name Here. This is my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I'll be doing mukbangs, pranks, challenges. I'm going to paint. I'm going to make music. I'm going to beatbox. I'm going to stand on the corner and give people sandwiches. Whatever you are going to do, connect with people. I just realized the connectivity that I have with people. I was so afraid I would push people like so far because I didn't want people to get close to me, because then once people get close, they get in your heart. They get in your heart. And now I'm starting to care for you. And now it's like, but now it's just like, oh, I'm not letting everybody in. But now I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. I love people. I will always love people. I will always love human beings. I will always love them. They do disappoint a lot. They do make me angry sometimes. They don't make me angry enough to like do anything. Like people be like, I'll beat your ass. And I'm just looking like, I'm 42 years old. Who the fuck you going? I'm not going to fight you. I'm not fighting anybody. Number one, I'm too pretty for that. Number two, I'm too big to be fighting anybody. It's a no. It's a no, especially not in 2022. I done survived too much to be fighting. I will fight for freedom. I will fight for justice. I will fight for inclusion. I will fight for all of those things. But to be physically fighting someone, especially somebody that look like me, no, you got the wrong person. I'm not doing it. I would rather love you, sit down and have a conversation. We can have some good food. You can cook. I can cook. We can go to a restaurant. Hash that out. That's where I'm at 2022. I'm not fighting with anybody. Nope, not fighting. I'm not being disrespectful or rude. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to love the shit out of you. Not literally, but I'm going to love you. I'm going to show you like, hey, when I realized that it takes 17 positive things to counteract one negative thing, and I'm just like, shit, if you scroll on Facebook for 20 minutes, you done seen more than one negative thing. That's depending on who your friends are. But for me, like, I just switch my whole friend list around. I be seeing people starting a business. I be seeing MUAs designs. I be seeing music artists opening up for major. That's who I'm following. I'm not saying I don't follow people that got a little messy stuff, but I scroll real fast, right past it. It's 2022. I got places to go, countries to visit. I got things I'm trying to do. And fear's not going to stop me. Insecurity's not going to stop me. What other people say or think about me, that's not stopping me. It's a no. It's a no. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to show y'all, just like I did it, you could do it too. If you need to know the resources on how to get in that door, let me know. I got you. I'm not going to open the door for you, but I will give you the resources. And when you come to knock on the door and they be like, who is it? And I'll be like, oh, it's so-and-so. I ain't going to act like I know you until you get in the door. Now, once you get in the door, I'll be like, hey, what up? We in here. We in there. But that's the thing. I want other people to have that same, thing that I have. Where it's like, yeah, we all can win. I'm going to win. You going to win. I'm doing a Christmas album, right? I'm doing a nursery rhyme album and a Christmas album. And my nieces and my nephews they're assisting me with it. It's the most cutest thing. It's the cutest thing ever. And I thought about it like, you know what? They make music. Jamila know how to produce, so I'm letting her produce on my Christmas album, on my nursery rhyme album. And she know how to sing, so we gonna all do this. It's a family fucking affair. We're gonna all do this. and I'm giving them percentages, and I'm gonna make sure that they good all the way around. That's all I got, y'all. I gotta go get. We gotta go to the store. We gotta go to the store. But feel, allow yourself to feel. If you are in a situation and it's fucked up right now, allow yourself to feel that fucked up situation. I know you probably like, what the fuck is she talking about? Allow yourself to feel that fucked up situation, because that situation is going to give you the strength, the courage, and the wisdom that you need to get out of it. And for fuck's sake, get out of it and not go back into it, or not find another situation just like it, but get out of it. Feel that. When you are happy, you feel that happiness. You're not going to let anybody come in and destroy that. No, you're going to do whatever the fuck you need to do to make sure that that happiness stays. Feel that. Embrace that. And then push through it. I had a fear. I felt the fear. I embraced the fear. And now I am pushing through it. Tomorrow at 1:30, I probably go live on my phone just so I can have it too. But I'm gonna share before it starts. I'm gonna share the link to where you guys can watch my presentation. I'm super excited because this is the first. This is the first event of its kind where I live, and I got invited. I didn't have to ask to speak. I got invited to speak. You know, if you ever go to church or you ever hear people say, your gift will make room for you, right? So my name and my business was in these rooms that I've never even walked in, but people was like, they when they reached out to me, they was like, yes, everybody kept saying your name, everybody kept saying we need to talk to you, and your business is and I was just like, me? You know, you had that moments like me, and I was like, fuck yeah, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. So I've been telling everybody like I'm excited. I was really excited, and then all of a sudden I realized at 42 I have allergies. No, I've been to the doctors pretty much all my life. Nobody ever told me about allergies. What is an allergy at 42? Allergies. He's like, oh, you need to get a neti pot, and I was like, oh, I see those all the time. He's like, yeah, you have allergies. You need to get a neti pot and clean it. So it's like, how I get out, and now look at me. I was like, how I get allergies before I had to do a presentation. Had allergies the whole time. They just never thought to tell me that because I had other pressing things. I guess I don't know. But feel, embrace, push, feel it. Every time before I get to when I was performing, every time before I perform, I was singing Eminem's "The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better." I would say that. I would literally repeat that. I wouldn't listen to the song, but I would just say that over and over and over and over. Now I got a new song. It's called "Miracles" by Molly Music and Jonathan McReynolds. And that was a song that I felt speaks to my life. And it came in my life at a time where it was just like, you're a miracle. I literally am, whether I talk about it a lot or not. I really am. And I can't get away from that. So I embraced it. And ever since then, whenever I have to present my business or talk to artists or organizations or anything like that, I play that song and I sing it at the top of my lungs and I go get it done. So I said that to encourage you, find your theme song. You ever know, like on your birthdays, be like, hey, one time for the birthday, and you turn up, like find that song that's like your theme song. I think everybody should have a theme song, but find your theme song. And in 2022, live. Live. If you've been dealing with fucked up people for far too long, if your family is fucked up, it's okay for you to set boundaries and cut them off. It's okay. I know nobody will tell you that because they'd be like, that's your mama, that's your brother, that's your cousin, that's your daddy. We love to do that. We love to guilt people into being in fucked up situations, but you don't have to. You should think about freedom. Freedom is what you should think about. Think about happiness. Think about what it is to smile. Remember the last time you truly smiled and not one of those fake smiles? Think about what it means to smile and how it is to be joyful and just feel love. Think about that. That's all I got. Remember that it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, or anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. Know yourself, trust yourself, and for the love of humanity, just be yourself. And I forgot when I usually say love, I always say your faults, your fears, and your failures. Because when we up here, we love the hell of ourselves. But when we down here, we low, we don't show ourselves that same love. Love all the way across the board. Um, Make sure you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, disinfectant, water, set a little money to the side. If you out here doing the twist and shout, that's what it is today. I'm making up new names for it every day. If you are doing the twist and shout, wrap it up. I don't know if you are paying attention, but the STDs is they're at an all-time high. If you cheating during the time of high STDs and monkeypox, I would encourage you to go get therapy because there is definitely something therapy.
It's not wood.
I know because it's not plugged in. That's all I got. If you haven't already, check out my other videos that I do. I do nurturing conversations every Sunday. Saturdays I do live karaoke's. Come check that out. That's all I got. I'm going to go now. I love you. I love you. You know what time it is. If you don't know what time it is, I suggest you watch The Finger Sweetie because they will tell you. Until next time, peace.